ladies and gentlemen, students and staff. At this time, we're going to please ask you to stand and remain silent for the posting of the colors. Please remain standing, and we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Thank you. Welcome, students, staff, parents, board members, and our distinguished guests, both on the stage with me and in our seats today. I'm Dr. Sayer. I'm the principal of Platte County High School, and it's with great honor and tremendous humility that we, the students and staff of Platte County High School, again welcome you into our home to do our best to demonstrate how much you mean to our community, our school, and all the people here present today. Here at Platte County High School, we live by 7 core values: integrity, innovation, collaboration, results-driven, student-focused, high expectations, and visionary leadership. I believe that these values ring true to each of you in attendance in every branch of the service represented here today. These core values create a common bond between us that makes each of us bigger than the individual and challenges us to serve the greater good of all. All of you have lived these similar values. Your dedication and willingness and sacrifice goes beyond words, but a real demonstration for all of us here on how much you live these simple ideas. That being said, I have a quick story to tell you about my first week here at Platte County High School. In the past years, Platte County High School has said the Pledge of Allegiance every single day. And it was a part of a way that we start our school each day, and we start the good work in the classroom and in the hallways. But after being announced as a new principal, I had a staff member come up to me very quickly after that announcement and ask me what would my decision be. Are we going to continue to say the Pledge of Allegiance every day? And my response was absolutely, we're going to do that every day. However, I'm honored that we say the Pledge of Allegiance every day at Platte County High School, and a student who attends Platte County High School from freshman to senior year will have recited the pledge over 700 times. I admit that's a very slippery slope when these powerful words can lose meaning and respect over time. Looking at these honored guests, having a complete stranger this morning, Mr. Von Glon shared this with me, having a complete stranger come up out of the blue, watching our students putting our flags down today, just thanked us and said, we just really thank you for what you're doing for us today. Got out of the car in the freezing cold and saluted the flag. That was just this morning. Looking over these honored guests, having the opportunity to talk with 2 graduates last year. I had them in my office. One's leaving for basic training today, the other one's leaving for tomorrow. It makes clear that the Pledge of Allegiance here at Platte County High School is not just an exercise for us, but is a daily reminder that we can never forget and sharpen our focus on what each of you have dedicated your lives to. I don't have a prepared speech, but I will tell you, I have something that I want to share with you. It's something that's resonated with me about what we do here every day. So students, I really want you to pay attention to this, and also our honorees, trying to show you some of the dedication that we have. This is by Colby Dunn. It's called I Am the American Flag. And I apologize if I get a little choked up. I'm going to be straight with you. I speak from wisdom of a long life. I first felt vigor of wind in my multicolored face when I unfurled my 13 stars over 230 years ago. I've known 44 presidents, and I have traveled across continents, oceans, and deserts, at the bottom of the ocean, and on the surface of the moon. I was there when my nation was born. I was in the hand of the first president in the blood and snow of Valley Forge. I stand for peace, honor, truth, and justice. I stand for freedom. I've earned the right to speak. The right paid for my freedom of speech is the price few remember or can comprehend. Most forget, but I still see in my memory these bright, beautiful young men and women who died with me on Pork Chop Hill, Normandy, Iwo Jima, Pearl Harbor, the Coral Sea, Okinawa, the jungles of Vietnam, and in Iraq and Afghanistan. I have fought every American battle in every war since 1776. And when they died for me, I wrapped them in my love and draped my honor over their caskets. Those who died for the right to speak in freedom are buried in Flanders Field of France, the Punch Bowl of Hawaii, and Arlington and Gettysburg, and in many other places under the sun. I fly proudly over their graves at all these places, praying that wars might always end. I rise every morning to watch over the graves of our finest men and women whose years were short, but whose service was longer than we can ever measure. Because of these brave American patriots, I can fly atop the greatest buildings in the world. I can stand watch at the Americans' Hall of Justice. I fly majestically over Platte County High School, and I stand guard as the greatest power in the world. I stand up and see me. I am the most recognized symbol in the universe. Yes, I am the American flag. More than 1,300,000 lives have been sacrificed to give me a right to speak. I have been burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of countries I've helped set free. I have been stained, spit upon, and defiled by my detractors, yet there is no place on earth that knows greater freedom than my country. Freedom to each man, woman, and child to choose his or her life's work, to travel from state to state without passports, and attempt to succeed and to often fail, and not be cast in prison for this failure. Freedom to save and build a fortune you may give away at the end of your life for family, friends, church, and charity. Freedom to speak, write, praise, question, criticize anyone, no matter how high their station or rank. Freedom to worship or not to worship as the mind and heart dictate. Freedom to borrow and build and buy and sell, to make an honest profit in a free enterprise system. Freedom to start your own business and become a capitalist, to create dignified job opportunities for people who want to know the pride of working for a living. I am proud of the harvest of our land: corn, wheat, cotton, apples, nut cherries, oranges, and peaches. I see the harvest in our 50 states, and I am proud, for we help feed the hunger of the world. Be humble and proud of our greatness. I am particularly humble and proud when I am torn into strips and used as bandages for my wounded comrades on the battlefield, or when I am flown at half-mast to honor my soldiers, and when I lie in the trembling arms of a grieving parent at the grave of their fallen son or daughter. We stagger at the eternal debt we owe these untold number of American veterans, just like these here today. They chose to set aside their personal ambitions and dreams to assure the well-being of our nation, and all of them are sitting among us today. Yes, be humble, be proud. Enough to know where your glory and greatness come from. I am called Old Glory. My glory is in the freedom that I give each man, woman, and child living in America. I am the world's beacon of hope and liberty, and all I can say is get me. You're tired, you're poor, your heart of mass is yearning to breathe free. Yes, I am the American flag. I am your flag. I am the flag of freedom on in each and every classroom, every day, by the week. We cannot forget what these men and women and families have given to us. Even after the 700th Pledge of Allegiance, this flag represents the bonds that link us all as brothers and sisters, living with common values. At this time, I would like all those service members in our attendance to please stand up and let us recognize your service. Thank you so much. And we are forever grateful for your service to our community, our school, and our country. At this time, I'd like to transition to our Armed Forces salutes, directed by Dr. Jay Jones. you, Dr. Jones. One thing that we also want to recognize here today are the many family members here that are present. Just want to take a quick moment. If you are a family member of a person that's currently or formerly in the military, or a student of or a child of a parent in the military, could you please stand up and be recognized at this time? Thank you. For the students and family, we certainly know that you've lived through difficult times and you've sacrificed a lot. You've also had a lot of opportunities in your lifetime. We just want to say thank you for your unwavering support and love for your service members and veterans. And we can never thank you enough for the sacrifices you've made. I know the celebration isn't a lot as far as we try our best here at Platte County High School. We certainly try to get better at what we do. But we want to make sure that this is a small token from our hearts in honoring what you men and women have done and pay gratitude for those who have served our country. At this time, I want to introduce Dr. Mike Reich, Superintendent of Schools for the Platte County School District.
Thank you, Dr. Sayre. I too would like to welcome our distinguished guest and thank you for joining us on such an important occasion. A little bit of background on Veterans Day. The first Veterans Day was declared a National Day of Remembrance by President Woodrow Wilson in 1919. We celebrate Veterans Day on the anniversary of the armistice that ended World War I. The armistice that began on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918. In the years since President Wilson made the 11th of November a National Day of Remembrance, the scope of our observance has changed. From a day set aside to remember those who died from one war to a day in which American veterans from all wars, as well as those who served in times of peace, could be honored. Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently in the company of true patriots, those who have nobly served. We're here today to honor our heroes, to remember their achievements, their courage, and their dedication, and to say thank you for those sacrifices. Thinking of heroes who join us in this group today, and those who are here only in spirit, one can only be humbled and in awe. You, our honored guests, are the living definition of courage, pride, dedication, selflessness, dedication and to duty and integrity. Platte County High School students, veterans just like the ones joining us today, have ensured your right to do things like having access to the internet, going to the movies, playing sports, going to a concert, or just hanging with your friends. In fact, this school stands in part because of the sacrifices of our veterans. So what role do you play? What can you do to thank our veterans? You can start right here and right now, today. Enjoy America's greatness and all of the opportunities that you have before you. Be kind, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Volunteer your time. Serve others. Register to vote and vote in every election. Get involved. Help someone in need. Take full advantage of the rights that our heroes so honorably defended. Live your lives to the fullest. Use all of your talents. Be good Americans. Then all of the veterans that have joined us here today and across the world will be proud to know that their sacrifices were not in vain. At this time, I'd like to ask you to please rise for the playing of our national anthem.
At this time, I want to welcome one of our honored speakers today, Major Jared Britz. Is originally enlisted from the Missouri Army National Guard as a fire direction specialist in February of 2000, and was commissioned in December of 2003 from the Missouri Western State University ROTC. He is a native of Harrisonville, Missouri, and has completed assignments with the Tennessee Army National Guard, the 1st Armored Division in Germany, the 2nd Infantry Division in Korea, and is currently stationed at the Command and General Staff College at Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. Major Britz has completed 2-year-long operation assignments in Iraq and has received numerous military decorations, including the Bronze Star, the Meritorious Service Medal, the Army Commendation Medal, the Iraqi Campaign Medal, and the Korean Defense Service Medal. He has a bachelor's degree from Northwest Missouri State University in Geography and a master's of Business Administration from the University of Massachusetts Amherst. He is also a graduate of numerous other Army courses to include Airborne, Armor Officer, Maintenance Leaders, Maneuver Captain's Career, and Cavalry Leaders course. He is married to Hung Jung Lee and has 2 young children, Braden and Elena. Please welcome me as we welcome Major Jared Britz.
Well, good afternoon. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to all the distinguished veterans in the group. I'm humbled by you guys. Thank you to all the active duty military in the audience, to the distinguished guests on the Platte County School Board, and then the students and administration for Platte County High School. When I was writing this speech, I want you to know that who I wanted to speak to was the students, because I think that's the message, that all veterans want to give to you. So I'm humbled and honored to be here celebrating the 96th anniversary of the 11th hour on the 11th day of the 11th month. Thank you, Dr. Sayer, for inviting me to speak this Veterans Day. And to the students, you're welcome for getting you out of class. Like I said, my name is Major Jared Britz from Harrisonville, Missouri, and graduated from Northwest Missouri State. So that's why I wanted to volunteer to come speak to you, because I'm somewhat of a local. I'm an armor officer, and more specifically, I'm a tanker. My profession is getting some Hollywood attention nowadays from the movie Fury, and some parts of that movie are true, and all tankers are that good looking. Some of that other stuff, not so much. So, as Dr. Sayer said, I've served quite a bit overseas, my 2 tours in Iraq, as a tank platoon leader and a scout platoon leader, operations officer in Germany, and a tank and headquarters company commander in Korea. Currently a student at Command and General Staff College at Fort Leavenworth, and I live off Running Horse Road with my beautiful wife and my 2 young children. But enough about me. I'm here to talk to you about 2 things. First, I want to give you a little background about the military and your community. And second, I want to talk to you about the importance of leadership. Fort Leavenworth is a training and leadership development post for the United States Army. It is the brain center of the Army. It is home to the future of the Army University, the Future Army University, which is a master's level education system. All the students there, myself included, are mid-career officers that come from around the world to Fort Leavenworth to study and learn how to be commanders and senior staff officers. Currently, there are roughly 2,200 Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, as well as international officers and government agency officials all studying at Fort Leavenworth. Fort Leavenworth is home to the Combined Arms Center that develops doctrine, educational programs, and oversees training for the Army training centers. So what does this mean for you? Fort Leavenworth is extremely valuable to the Kansas City metro area because of the thousands of good paying jobs and the revenue produced for the area. Many soldiers from Fort Leavenworth live in the Platte County area. This is mainly because nobody wants to live in Kansas. True statement. Therefore, the bottom line is that you're very much part of a unique military community. I want to recognize again the military family. The Army would break down if it wasn't for the support of our loving family members. Part of a strong Army is part of this family that supports them. So, my next point is about leadership. So Fort Leavenworth is the is the training center for future Army leaders. But what is a leader? Can I buy leadership at Price Chopper? Is it in the Freedom Aisle right next to the American Way? No. My point is, you can't touch leadership. It's hard to describe, but you know when it's missing, and leadership matters. So what does make a good leader? The answer is always different. In the Army, we spend a lot of time studying that question. The reason why is because oftentimes what makes a difference between winning and losing on the battlefield is the leaders involved. We have found there is a common thread among leaders. They influence their organizations by giving them purpose, direction, and motivation to accomplish tasks and to improve the organization. So I ask, was Adolf Hitler a leader? How about Muammar Gaddafi or Kim Jong-il? Were they leaders? I would say no. The reason is because leaders lead change for good. One of the defining qualities of a leader is character. Character is comprised of a person's moral and ethical qualities that help determine what is right and gives a leader motivation to do what is appropriate, regardless of the circumstances or consequences. Therefore, a leader leads with honor. Sometimes at the end of the day, all you have left is your honor, but be proud because that's what's most important. So why does leadership matter? In the world we live in today, it's getting much smaller, more dangerous, more competitive, more complex. There's not much difference between what the nation of China can do and what the United States can do. The U.S. is going to need strong future leaders, leaders that will keep us competitive and relevant in this world. And my hope is that many of the great future leaders are sitting in this auditorium. Leaders are not born, leaders are made. You all have what it takes to become a great leader. And leadership will keep this country great. In closing, it's great to be a veteran in this country and such a supportive community. So many people have sacrificed to give you the best opportunities for happiness. All I ask is that you seize those opportunities that this country has to offer, the opportunities given to you by the blood, sweat, and tears of our military. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
I want to take this opportunity to introduce our second distinguished speaker this afternoon. Lieutenant Colonel Candy Smith is a military intelligence officer currently stationed at Fort Leavenworth, Kansas as a Command and General Staff College instructor. Lieutenant Colonel Smith has served in the Army for over 18 years. She is a combat veteran participating in the initial invasion of Iraqi for Operation Iraqi Freedom and deploying to Afghanistan for Operation Enduring Freedom. Lieutenant Colonel Smith has also participated in Army exercises in Thailand, Korea, Australia, and Kuwait. She has a bachelor's degree from the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh, 2 master's degrees, and is currently working on her PhD from Kansas State University. She is also a graduate of the U.S. Army Command and General Staff College, School of Advanced Military Studies, and numerous other Army courses to include Airborne and Air Assault. Lieutenant Colonel currently lives in Platte City with her husband, Lieutenant Colonel Steve Smith, and their 3 sons, Sam, a 7th grader, Dylan, a 2nd grader, and Finn, a 1st grader. Please welcome to the stage Lieutenant Colonel Candy Smith.
We would like to take this opportunity to remember the incredible cost paid by those who gave all to help preserve the freedoms we enjoy, those gallant individuals who fought and died for our country. Yet it is in remembering our fallen comrades that we are reminded of those whose fate is still unknown, those who still listed as missing in action and prisoners of war. To honor these men and women, we will perform the POW MIA empty chair ceremony. Those who have served and those currently serving in the uniformed services of the United States are ever mindful that the sweetness of enduring peace has always been tainted by the bitterness of personal sacrifice. We are compelled to never forget that while we enjoy our daily pleasures, there are others who have endured and may still be enduring the agonies of pain, deprivation, and internment. We call your attention to this small table, which occupies a place of dignity and honor. It is set for one, symbolizing the fact that members of our armed forces are missing from our ranks. They are referred to as POWs and MIAs. We call them comrades. They are unable to be with their loved ones and families, so we join together to pay our humble tribute to them and to bear witness to their continued absence. The table is round, symbolizing the frailty of one prisoner alone against his or her suppressors. The tablecloth is white, symbolic of the purity of their intentions to respond to their country's call to arms. The table is being set for one, symbolizing the frailty of one prisoner alone against his or her oppressors. The red ribbon on the base represents the red ribbons worn on the lapels of thousands who demand with unyielding determination a proper account of our comrades who are not among us. The single rose in the vase signifies the blood that they may have shed in sacrifice to ensure the freedom of our beloved United States of America. This rose reminds us of the family and friends of our missing comrades who keep faith while awaiting their return. A slice of lemon on the bread plate is to remind us of their bitter fate, those captured and missing in a foreign land. The salt being sprinkled on the plate is to remind us of the countless tears of those who have never come home and of the tears of their families and friends whose grief knows no ends. The glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us this day. The candle is reminiscent of the light of hope, which gives in our hearts to illuminate their way home, away from their captors, to the open arms of a grateful nation. The chair is empty. Our comrades are missing. Remember.
On behalf of Platte County High School, the Platte County School District, and the regular general Platte County community, we humbly recognize that we can never thank you enough for your service and demonstrating the true meaning of servant leadership. You will continue to inspire us each day to have honor, courage, and commitment be always faithful, always ready, and live with integrity first, service before self, and excellence in everything that we do. This we will defend. Thank you so much. Can you please stand for the retirement of the colors? Before we dismiss, I want to make a special thanks to, again, Major Jared Britz, the U.S. Army, Lieutenant Colonel Candy Smith, U.S. Army, Jessica Brushwood from Fort Leavenworth, James Valentine, U.S. Army retired, Nate Cecilia, the Pony Express ROTC Battalion, which carried our colors out today, Platte City Flower and Gift Shop, National Bank of Kansas City, Pony Express Color Guard again, Platte County High School Traditions Band and Wind Ensemble, the Student Council, Interact Club, Spirit Squad, Northland Career Center culinary students, Christopher Bargrover, Dr. Jones, Dr. Bonsignor, and Mr. Bailey, and last but not least, Chef Jason from the Northland Career Center. The reason why I want to point those out is that I want you to understand how many people work together to make this opportunity special for you and for these wonderful people in front of us. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you. What I'd like to do is invite our special guest, if you could please, if you would like to stay here, certainly I would like for you can go out those doors right there. We have a reception for you in the North Cafe. Any student who has a family member here, you're more than welcome to come to the North Cafe when you are dismissed. Once they're out of the room, we will dismiss students, okay? Thank you, honored guests. Make your way out.